everybody out there, it's Christina here, and today we're going to be finding the product of a wonderful polynomial expression here, right? Now everyone knows that, the product, right? Product is just a fancy word for saying, hey, we're going to multiply some things together. So we're doing some multiplication. And we're going to take these two polynomials, so I have 4t squared plus 7t, and I'm going to multiply this whole polynomial with this one, negative 3t squared plus 4. All right, well, the question is, how do we do that? Well, there's tons of different methods out there. There's acronyms, and you could use tables, and right? Yeah. We don't need that. All we need to know is just one simple thing. One simple term, right? How many letters? 4. I actually had to count that on my hands. Does anybody else still do that? It's like simple things, but I'm using my hands to count. But anyway, 4 words, right? And it's this. You gotta be fair. All right? And yes, I'm going to use the gotta, so that makes it 4. But anyway, you gotta be fair. That's all that polynomial multiplication is all about. And I'm going to show you what that means in 2 seconds. So, you do most of the heavy lifting by analyzing your first parenthesis, all right? By doing most of the work on the first parenthesis and focusing on the first parenthesis, you will be able to multiply the whole entire polynomial with, you gotta be fair. And let's just systematize everything, right? Just the way we read and write, we go from left to right. So we'll start with the first term on the left, do all the work that we got to do. Do the second term, do all the work that we got to do. And once you're done analyzing the first parenthesis, you're good. Then all we got to do is simplify. So let's get down to it. The first term that we have for the first parenthesis is 4t squared. And keep in mind, we got to find the product. These two parentheses are being multiplied by each other. So I know that I have to multiply the 4t squared by something. Well, I'm not going to multiply the 4t squared by the 7t because it literally says that they're being added together. So you can never multiply the terms that are in the same parenthesis. That's a big no-no. But we shall go across the pond, across the parentheses, to the other parentheses to do the multiplication. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, systematize everything. I'm going to take my 4t squared, and I'm going to multiply it by this negative 3t squared. But now here's where the fairness comes in, because the positive 4 is looking, right? And it's looking and seeing that the 4t is being multiplied by the negative 3t squared. So the 4t is like, I want to be multiplied too. And the 4t says, all right, I'll be fair. So the 4t you'll multiply with the negative 3t squared and that positive 4. Let's do that multiplication, and then we will figure it out. And by the way, if you had more terms in this parenthesis, so let's just say you had like a third term, well, you're going to take the 4t squared and multiply it by those 3 terms, or 4 terms, or whatever it is that's included in the parenthesis. Okay, so let's get down to it. 4t squared times negative 3t squared. Let's focus in on the numbers first. Multiplying numbers, whatever, whenever you're doing it, it's the same exact thing. So 4 times a negative 3 is a negative 12. So we're going to start off with the negative 12. But now we're multiplying variables together. I got a t squared here and a t squared. What happens when we multiply by variables? There's a property, right? And the property is right here. I'll put it down here. I chose my variable here to be x, but, it could be t's, a, b's, c, d's, whatever it is. But if you have an exponent, in this case I put, a and b, they could be, both numbers the same, different numbers. All we got to do is add the exponents together. So when you're multiplying variables, you take those the exponents, and you add them together. That's it. So in this case, you have a t squared. So I got a 2 up top here. And on the other one, I got a 2 up top here. So 2 plus 2, because we're adding those exponents together. 2 plus 2 is, and maybe I'll just keep that there, 2 and 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So this would be t to the 4th. Now, you got to be fair. 4t squared times 4. Numbers first. 4 times 4 is 16. So this would be a plus 16. And now worry about your variables. This one had a t squared. This one has nothing. So I'm just going to put it as a t squared. And notice how I'm using different colors because different variables with exponents, they don't go together. So t to the fourths, if you're going to be adding or subtracting with this, it's got to be a t to the fourth. So I can't simplify by addition or subtraction t to the fourth with the t squared or t to the second. Okay, we've exhausted the first term, and now we go to the next one. This one is at the end of the parentheses, so once I do the fairness game with the 7t, I'm just going to, all I need to do is just simplify. So let's be fair. We're going to take that 7t and times it by the first one, so the negative 3t squared. The positive 4 is like, what about me? So the 7t will then multiply with the positive 4. Let's try it out. 7t times negative 3t squared. Let's do the numbers first. 7 times a negative 3 is a negative 21. And now we got two exponents. We got t and t squared. Multiplying exponents, all you're doing is adding them. So this one was t raised to the what? If you don't see a number, that's raised to the first. So I got a 1 times by t to the second. What do you think? How many t's do we got? Yeah, t to the third. And I put it in a different color because it's not t to the fourth or t to the second. And now we got the last one. And maybe I'll use a different color here. Maybe we'll use like, ooh, this nice little green. Okay. So 7t times 4. 7 times 4 is 28, so plus 28. And this has just a t, this has no t, so the t is just going to come along for the ride. And in this case, I have no, I basically have nothing that I can simplify as far as adding or subtracting. Of course, we could pull out some t values if you wanted to, but I'll leave it like this. And that is the correct answer. And there we go. Thank you so much. I hope this helped. Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video. Thank you so much for coming here. I really hope that this is helping you out and that you're learning in a fun and positive way. Yeah, my brother and I, we really do appreciate all you guys. So thank you so much for coming to the channel, watching the videos, commenting. I try to get back to as many comments as I can. And I hope you're doing great out there, okay? I'm always rooting for you. Good luck on your tests and quizzes. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.